Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Jonathan. I own a screen print shop and embroidery shop out in West Texas. So most mistakes in a print shop don't happen on press actually. They happen between people, between the handoffs, between quote to art, artwork to proof, proof to production, production to shipping, etc. Today I'm going to show you how an order flows through our system and the exact checkpoints that we use to hopefully prevent any dreaded reprints or prevent any unhappy customers. If you're a customer who orders custom apparel, hopefully this video will shed some light on what your printer might be doing or might not be doing. And if you're a print shop owner, hopefully this is a look behind the curtain of a system that helps reduce reprints. Hey guys, real quick, today's video is sponsored by Fabric.Inc. Fabric is an executive coaching program built specifically for print shops like you and me. You can almost look at it, really it's an accountability group, but I kind of look at it as like a therapy group. And not a therapy session with your mom or your dad or your partner, but a therapy session with other print shops going through the same stuff that you're going through. So click the link below, check out the other shops that have joined, and click apply today to level up your shop, to level up your revenue, to level up your mindset. Quick shout out to today's video sponsor, Printavo. Printavo is your all-in-one shop management software for shops of all sizes. If you have a front-end team and a back-end team, you have to have one place that's the truth, that spoke to every single order, the work order for us that lives in Printavo. I've used Printavo for over the last 7 years of my business, and I can't imagine growing the shop that I have without it. Click the link in the description today to get 10% off your subscription. Now let's get into today's video. I'm not going to sit here and act like we don't have any mistakes or we don't have to do any reprints ever. We have systems in place, but inside these systems, we have humans in place that have their own lives, that have their own ideas, that are going through their own things. So mistakes definitely, obviously happen, but still we have this ever-evolving order flow and system that dramatically reduces any waste, spoilage, or surprises along the way so that we can deliver a high quality product to our customer on time. Okay, so step one is the quote. This is where an order either starts clean or starts messy. Customers will reach out to us either through text message, emails, phone calls, but the best one that we like and prefer is our online quote form because it forces the details right up front so that we can give a clean, accurate quote. So here's what we have to know in order to give a quick quote. We have to know the garment they want, short sleeve, long sleeve, hoodie, hat, etc. We want to know the quantity so we can give you accurate price breaks accordingly. Artwork and print locations, is it just the front or is it front and back, etc. The number of colors in the design if they know that yet. And most of all, number one thing we need to know is their due date. Do they need it in 3 days? Do they need it in 3 weeks? The due date is absolutely everything because it is from this in-hand due date that we are going to work backwards. If they need it in 4 or 5 days, we probably need to jump on the phone and square away all the details right now so we can have garments on their way and get a deposit from the customer. If they need it a month out, then we know we have some time to go back and forth, have time to dial in their mock-up and artwork and get sizes, etc. Yeah, so once we send out the quote, we are really checking 2 things. 1, is their deadline achievable for us? And 2, does the price work for the customer? If the price does not work for the customer, like no hard feelings, but we're really just gonna be wasting each other's time. We're gonna go through the back and forth, go through the mock-up, do some artwork for them maybe even, only to find out, like we give them a quote later in the process, after all that work is done, only to find out we're not even in their budget. So that's really checkpoint number 1. Does the price and the turnaround time work for everyone? If the price and the turnaround work, now we're ready for step 2, which is the artwork and proof creation. Here, I would say about half the time a customer is bringing their own artwork already where it's almost completely finished. And the other half of the time, we're either having to recreate artwork or come up with brand new artwork for them. And actually on our website, we have over 7,000 free artwork designs you can choose from that cover all kinds of categories from sports events to team sports to school organizations, church organizations, businesses, etc. So if a customer really does not know what they want, but they need some shirts, we love to send them to our website where they can choose from many different artwork designs and we can go from there. So once we square away the artwork, the next part is putting this artwork on a proof, on a mock-up, on a garment to show the customer. And here's a huge rookie mistake. The artwork that the customer likes and you like and everybody likes, that's fine. But if you don't put it on a mock-up to show the customer, so much can get lost there by everyone assuming what they think everybody wanted. It is this proof that gets the customer, the front-end team, and back-end team production all on the same page. When we build a proof out or a mock-up, we make sure that the art is sized correctly in inches, not by just good vibes. We make sure that the placement is accurate. Is it, again, a left chest, a full chest, a back print, a sleeve print, etc. We make sure the color count matches what we quoted the customer, or if we need to tweak price now because they added more colors or less colors. We call out Pantone and ink colors to make sure, again, production knows what inks they need to have prepped and ready for that print job. And ultimately, we add any extra notes, maybe about placement or extra little nuanced details that the customer called out with the front-end team. We can add those to the proof as well. And honestly, it is here on this proof where a $200 mistake can start. A $500, $800 mistake, or even a $5,000 mistake if this proof is not right. Production hasn't talked to the customer at all. They're gonna pull up the proof and it needs to be accurate. So really, that's checkpoint number 2. Again, placement, color, artwork size, all that needs to be on this proof. So step number 3 is sending this proof to the customer. We kind of treat this as 2 approvals. First, we're gonna text it or email it to the customer, and people will ask, why not use Printavo to send art approval or proof approval? And for me, it's simple. Early on in the process, customers a lot of times want to tweak something, tweak the garment color, tweak a color in the design. And I don't want to send a approval for all these little tweaks. I want to get all that squared away on the back and forth on a phone call or emails or texts. And I feel like through those channels, it'll be much quicker, much faster to square it all away. But once that customer says, there it is, that's the proof I want, that's what I want to order, this is where we build up the final invoice inside of Printavo. Here on the final invoice in Printavo, we're going to have the size breakdown, the mock-up, the price, the shipping address, and ultimately, again, the due date, all on this one final invoice. Then we send that from Printavo to the customer to do one final review and approve. Here, the customer will hit a green button that says approve. They'll type in their name, signifying the person that's approving this, and they'll pay either a deposit or the full invoice amount. So that's checkpoint number 3, that final invoice with all the details. It is this work order, this final invoice that they're approving and paying for, that signifies that we are all now on the same page, front-end team, customer, and production team. So if the customer approves, we are now at step 4 and we are on pre-production of this job. And it is really here that this job becomes real internally. Once the customer approves, the front-end team will order the garments and this job will land on our production schedule through an N8N automation workflow. When we click on a certain status in Printavo, an automation runs in the background and automatically transfers all the details about this job onto our Monday.com production schedule. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you've seen me talk about Monday.com is where our live production schedule lives. It is here that production can see what jobs are coming up and what else needs to be prepped on this job for it to be fully production ready. We use these readiness columns that make it painfully obvious to see what's holding up a job. Are separations ready? Have the screens been burned? Have the garments arrived? As I've said in my previous videos, if all 3 of these columns are not lit up green, this job cannot be printed. And here's the truth. When you're a one-man shop, maybe even a 2-man shop, communication is easy. If you're a one-man shop, you have it all in your head and you talk to the customer, you made the separation probably, you're picking the colors, you're printing the job, you're delivering it. That's great. You don't really need all this extra behind the scenes stuff. But if you have a front-end team who's not at the shop, a back-end team who's just looking at a work order, it's communication and it's small little details and notes all over the place that help keep everybody on track and prevent any costly mistakes. So that's checkpoint number 4, production ready. Do we have the separation? Have the screens been burned? Are the garments here? Is it ready to roll? Let's say production's all ready to roll. This is where the fun begins. You get to print the actual shirt, where ink meets the t-shirt finally. And everything I just mentioned is all the stuff you don't really kind of think about until you get to that level of all the back and forth you gotta do and pre-press you got to do to make a job successful for both the print shop and the customer. So now the job is finally on press, and my printers will do 1 test print, 2 test prints, 3 test prints, do as many test prints necessary to get all the colors dialed in. Here they'll definitely be checking color accuracy. Does it match the mock-up, or do they need to swap out another Pantone color? Of course, they're going to be checking for any omissions or additions to the design. And of course, typos is number 1 they need to be checking for too. And it is here at checkpoint number 5 that is our biggest, strongest checkpoint of them all. So my production team will, after they dial in the whole print, they will take a picture of the design and send it in a Microsoft Teams group chat with my front end team, who is on standby all day, every day. My front end team will see this test print picture, they'll pull up the mock-up, and they'll compare the mock-up that the customer approved to the final test print that the production team sent. They'll look at them side by side. They'll check again for omissions, typos, additions, pinholes, anything, white underbase peeking out, all that. They look for all this, and they'll give the final approval right here. If we get that final approval from front end team, we're ready to print all 500 shirts right now. Let's go. And not that I've done it every single time, but a lot of times if my production guys will catch something before front end team catches something, like a typo, or again, something that shouldn't be on the print, if they catch something and bring it up to the front end team, I'll give them straight up $50 for just catching it right then and there. I'd be lying if I said that I did that every single time, but I do try to do it whenever I see it happen, and I try to reward them for catching that, because if you're a printer, you know you're really focused on the colors, you're really focused on the registration, so it's easy to let some other stuff go. That's why we have the front end come in behind them and triple check everything before we run full production. And step number 6 is finally getting this job boxed up and shipped. Sometimes it needs to be folded, bagged, and size tagged. 90% of the time it does not need to, but the number 1 thing during this step is you have to recount the order before it goes into the box. The last thing you want to happen is a customer to reach out to you and say, hey, I'm missing 5 larges or 12 larges. Like, that's like the worst thing, because you did all this artwork stuff, all this proof stuff, all this printing stuff, just for the customer to like not be happy or satisfied because they were shorted some garments. So counting here in my shop is a non-negotiable. You have to get it done. We use ShipStation to ship out all of our orders. All right, guys, so that's our whole workflow from quote, artwork, press, shipping. I think the biggest takeaway here is the press isn't the only place where mistakes happen. It's really all those different checkpoint handoffs that I mentioned throughout the video. If you're a customer or someone looking to get some custom printed apparel, I hope this video gave you some confidence of how we do it here at Success Print Shop. And if you're a print shop owner, build out a simple checklist at every level, at every step of the process to help prevent any costly reprints. That's it for today's video, guys. I hope y'all found it insightful, helpful. If you did, it would mean the world to me if you hit the like button and subscribe so you can catch the next videos coming up. All right, guys, we'll catch y'all on the next one. We'll see y'all later. Bye.